All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Amazon News and Trends. This is for July 2021. I'm here with Nate Hogel. Nate, welcome back.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Thanks for having me. It's good to be
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. Okay, so we have quite a few updates for folks today. We have a handful in the general section. We have just one in content and then a couple in advertising to round us out.
hmm
So let's dive into it here. The first one in our general updates is a seller reviews tool.
Yeah. So this was a new feature that was rolled out in July. It was announced by Amazon that there's a new tool that will grant sellers the ability to respond to negative reviews on their products. This new feature will allow sellers to send scripted messages, pre-scripted, preloaded messages to customers who leave 1, 2, or 3 review ratings of their products. The goal of this tool is to aim sellers in the direction of correcting any issues or misunderstandings with the shipping or the product. So trying to capture those common misconceptions or any issues with the packaging or delivery of the product and try to parse those away from their product reviews. So, this is an area of Amazon where there's been quite a bit of change in terms of ratings, reviews, and replying to those questions and those postings. And this is just a way for sellers to be able to respond to those negative reviews on their products and try to get some of those perhaps changed by those sellers should it be in relation to shipping or packaging of their products.
Okay, awesome. And it's just available in the US right now, right?
Right now, it's just available in the US. I would expect to probably see that in other markets, though, in the coming months.
Okay, great. Next on our list, 17 new fulfillment centers open in August, and then kind of some other comments on expansion.
Yeah, this I think was an interesting note that was just some call outs that were from some comments made during the Q2 earnings call in July. Noting that Amazon has nearly doubled the size of its fulfillment network over the past 18 months and have on tap 17 new fulfillment centers that are scheduled to open this month. So I think it's an interesting and noteworthy development. 17 is a lot of buildings to open in a single month. And if you look through a little bit more of the comments during that call, this is essentially Amazon playing catch up to the demand that the pandemic has presented the e-commerce community. And so this is Amazon reacting to that surge in demand and surge in traffic. And I think it's worth noting the type of effort and the type of infrastructure they're putting in their supply chain to support this sort of new normal that we're going to be living in from an e-commerce standpoint.
Yeah, that's great. I remember when Amazon had 17 fulfillment
Yeah,
network.
exactly.
17 in a month is pretty.
Now, just in a month, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, then the next update here actually is related to this. So Amazon filled unit volumes double in 2 years.
yeah, this it really does kind of. It probably could have been in the same update as the last one we discussed, but it was an interesting note and brought up a KPI that I think we haven't really looked at, but I think is an interesting metric, which is Amazon filled units. So essentially Amazon retail plus FBA. So how much is Amazon fulfilling, just pure fulfillment in units? And that number has doubled in 2 years. So combining that with the infrastructure conversation we just had, you can see why they're opening 17 fulfillment centers in a month. It's just pure volume that they need to push through their network. And in order to do so, they have to open up those doors to do it. And, we're seeing in the data then and the comments made by Amazon, true growth and acceleration in their fulfillment capacity. And they're responding accordingly with the infrastructure they're putting in place.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Next one on our list, launch of brand referral bonus program.
Yeah, this was a pretty interesting, I thought, development where Amazon's announcing to the broader seller community, a referral program essentially incentivizing sellers to drive offsite traffic to their product detail pages, and then offering those brands, those sellers, a bonus of up to 10% off of, or a 10% bonus of the shipped value that goes through offsite redirected traffic. So using a pixel and some other technologies to be able to tag where traffic's coming from, Amazon can identify when conversions are happening through qualified traffic that sellers are they themselves directing back to Amazon. And now there's an incentive for them to encourage more of that behavior and use really essentially their Amazon detail pages as their own fulfillment for their own products, and kind of moving maybe away from their own D2C site where it's very expensive and there's a lot of advertising that has to go there. Well, if they just use their product detail pages and direct that traffic, now there's an incentive for them to do so. And I think it's an interesting development that we see a lot of opportunity in, with quite a little bit of downside by just earmarking some other marketing dollars to push towards the detail page of Amazon for fulfillment and conversion.
Hey there, I'm Dave Zimmerman with Orca Pacific. I hope you're enjoying the show. I wanted to let you know this episode is brought to you by Orca Pacific, a Mighty Hive company. We're a full-service agency exclusively focused on Amazon with capabilities for everything a brand needs to succeed on the platform. From advertising strategy, content development and SEO, to merchandising and marketing. If it relates to driving and converting demand on the platform, our dedicated teams are leaders in this space. Our robust suite of services includes expertise on the back end as well, from operational support, demand forecasting and planning, to the right fulfillment options, and higher level strategies like long-term planning, channel management, and access to beta programs. To learn more, visit our website at www.orcapac.com. That's ORCAPAC.com. And a business development manager will get you up to speed on how we can accelerate your Amazon business. Now, back to the show.
Last update in the general section, an update on Amazon's Just Walkout technology.
Yeah, so I think if you'll recall, past couple of years, the Amazon Go store, when that rolled out in South Lake Union and here in Seattle, it was a pretty big deal, and it's kind of a tourist novel thing to go check out the Amazon Go store. It's a convenience store for those who aren't familiar. A convenience store where you can go in, you have an app on your phone, you're logged into your Prime account, you can go in, grab products, and just walk out without having to actually go through the checkout experience. And the technology is able to gather what products you're putting in your basket, and will then charge your Amazon Prime account. So at the Go level, that was very much, if you think of it in a crawl, walk, run approach, that was very much the crawl state. They're testing their technology. They're putting it in a very small scale and very limited, in a very limited release. This is more of the walk approach. So Amazon is now having that Amazon Go technology, Just Walkout technology, in a full-fledged grocery store here in Bellevue, Washington. It's an Amazon Fresh grocery store. So using that technology now, not just in a convenience store setting, but in a full-scale grocery store, and testing that technology out at a larger scale. I think it's just the next step in the progression of this technology, and likely, very, very likely, will not be the last we hear of this. And I think it's an interesting development, and kind of watching the journey of this technology as Amazon continues to basically reinvent not only e-commerce, but also drastic shifts in brick and mortar retail as well.
Yeah, that's great. I'm actually really looking forward to checking that out. I haven't been there yet, but I'll have to make a trip in the next couple of weeks. Sure. Awesome. Okay, moving on to content. So we have one update in the content section. New ability to follow brand stores.
This is a continuing trend, I think, with updates. I think there was one last month in terms of putting brand store links on sponsored brand ads. And now this month we see additional abilities for consumers to follow brand stores, similarly to following a brand on LinkedIn or Facebook. This is just the development of Amazon using their brand stores in in a greater capacity as part of the entire shopping experience on Amazon. So now customers can follow brand stores, brands they like. That will then definitely shift the algorithms that they see on their Amazon experience, and they log into the portal, and will serve them products from the brands they like and get much more engagement and much more targeted traffic and targeted experiences for those customers. So again, we've talked about this a lot, but 3 years ago, when brand stores really rolled out at the beginning, they were kind of an afterthought. And now when we see repeated updates to these features on the site, it becomes much more of a core component of a successful Amazon strategy. And no longer can it be really considered as an afterthought. It's crucial to your full scale, full funnel experience on the platform as a brand.
Cool. Okay, great. 2 updates in advertising. The first one is new targeting tab in Amazon Advertising Console.
Yeah. So both of these updates are updates to the the advertising console, and I think we can maybe cover them in kind of a broad sweep, because I think they have a similar kind of energy to them in terms of what they're trying to accomplish. So
the other one here then is new brand management self-service console for vendors. So kind of two updates related to the ad console, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So the first one you mentioned, which is the new targeting tab in the console, allows marketers to view summaries of all their targeting performance across all campaigns without having to go drill into each individual campaign. So it gives them a global view from a targeting standpoint. It allows them to add filters, graphs, and other summary information from like a global level over their entire advertising experience. And then the second one, brand management self-service console, is a way for advertisers who manage multiple brands to be able to have multiple brand segmented out within the native console. Before, they were all grouped together in one big list. Now that they can be segmented out, you can develop strategies more specifically. And the reason I group these together is because from the native advertising console standpoint, these are really fresh and new. However, from a third-party tech point of view, this is stuff that's been around for quite a long time. And using Amazon's API, you could do this with some third-party tools. So Amazon now releasing some of that type of functionality that we've seen for years in third-party tools into their own native console really shows that they're trying to widen the reach for what their console can accomplish for a wider audience. So maybe for those sellers or those vendors who can't or don't want to engage with a third-party tool, there is now much more specific technology involved inside the Amazon portal that will be available to them. And it's a more welcoming experience for a wider array of people. And I think it just will, are 2 things to call out to show Amazon's efforts in making it more of a tool for the masses and not having to have every small seller or retailer to have to use a third-party tool to do some of these really kind of straightforward things. But it's a great feature should folks need it, and specifically those that aren't running those third-party tools. So I think it's just the development, another step in the development of their native console. And I think we can expect to see more features like this come out for the rest of this over the rest of this year, the balance of this year.
Cool. All right. Does that round us out?
Mm-hmm. I believe so. I think it's our list for this month.
Sounds good. All right. That is our list. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We will see you again next month when we'll go through all the information for August. Thanks, Nate. We'll talk soon.
Sounds great, John. Thanks so much. Talk soon.